Okay, well I've already done one side, and we've done some crappie, and there's some bluegill here, and I don't really like filleting bluegill, but we'll do it. And we have 7 children here, so I don't get in a real big hurry filleting. I know a lot of times you take an electric knife and just like take the fillet off, and then you lay out the rib bones with it. Well, this is a tutorial on how to fillet bonelessly, because having lots of little ones over the last few years, when we cook fish, we don't like having to search for bones or having a 3-year-old choke on fish bones. So I fillet boneless. This is how I do it. What I'll do is I'll cut right up here next to the gill plate, and we'll get this this fin right up here, and I come down right into it like a normal fillet, and I cut just at that angle. Now most of your meat's gonna be right here, but I go ahead and lots of times I'll take that belly meat off too. But the way I guess I might be a little bit different from some guys, is I just take my knife point in here and I keep coming down and riding right above the ribs. And when I get right here, you can tell when you have this front fin that's very spiky, and then you get this back one that's very smooth and round. When you get back here, you can then make your cut all the way through to the front of this fin, okay? And there's the anus will be right there. And what you're doing, you're bypassing all of the guts. So we'll go from this smooth side and shoom right down here, and then I'll finish my fillet, and then I'll come back and I'll work this off nicely. I'll show you. So I come right here and I just keep riding, and then I feel that last rib, and I go right behind that last rib over the top of the lateral line and the backbone, and then I should have done the other one. Then we'll come down. So then I go back and I clean up my cut on top of the ribs. This is kind of an ugly one here, I'm sorry. And clean up the cut, then bring it down. Then I take the back part of my knife right here, and I will sever all the where the ribs anchor in. So I'll sever that, and then I just ease that belly meat off the top of the ribs. So I left all the ribs in the fish. All the ribs were laying there. Now the only bones you have in this fillet, right here, the only bones are going to be where those ribs tied into the meat on this red line. So let me take this off.
Get all the nuts.
Now I think I got just about every single bit of meat off of that fish. And we have a pretty good fillet here for bluegill. There. Now, the only bones you're going to have is right here. I can feel them. So I just come right up here and I just shoot through this on both sides. On a catfish, I'd call that the mud vein, but it's kind of red meat anyways. And I just go right alongside, boom, boom, and then I just take and I pinch, and there's just about 5 or 6 little teeny tiny bones on there where the ribs anchor into the meat, right along the lateral line of the fish. That's a completely it takes longer. That's a completely boneless fillet right there. You can give that to a 3-year-old and not worry about it if you did it right. So I'll do another one real quick here. And this one I'll go full speed. Come down there, you come along and just right alongside of that. And to get there and then stab it all the way through. Bring it. A little bit more down like that. Okay, so then I come back and I clean up that where I had been poking, so that's not a clean cut. So I come back and I clean it up right on top of the ribs. Then when I expose the ribs good here and get it separated, I take the sharper part and the back part of my knife, and I muscle through the tops of the ribs. And then I just take my fillet knife in and take the rib meat right off the top, or take that meat right off the top of the ribs, make the fillet. Then you come back here, fillet this off. That's a real pretty fillet right there. Still have that delicate meat. And then you can feel the bones where they anchored in. They anchored in right along this lateral line. So I just take right alongside, boom, right alongside, boom, throw that away, boneless fillet. Takes a little more time, but then you can just scarf down your fish and you don't worry a bit about any bones.
What's he been eating?